Hi everybody, it's Thursday, October 9th, 2025. Our episode starts with our headline, HYG divided by HY accelerates lower, dollar rises, and more growing signals the top is in. I spoke yesterday about if the top is not here yet and the stock market climb can continue, we need to see credit spreads stop spreading, and that's not what we saw today. Instead, we saw HYG divided by HY accelerate to the downside. Not just a three black crows pattern, but with the third candle being the largest, this is a pretty strong indication that credit spreads are going to continue to spread. And although we don't get to see what that looks like on the Fred website high yield index spread as of this morning, we were at a high not seen for about a month. And today's action in HYG divided by HY says this went higher today, and we'll see that in the morning. Second thing, we saw the dollar index rise, not just a little bit, but with a large green candle closing above yesterday's entire breakout candle. This is a confirmation move, meaning that it is very likely that this inverse head and shoulders on the DXY is going to play out with very strong probability. I want to add that on the SPX S&P 500 itself, we still don't have a close above the engulfing red candle here, suggesting as well the top could be in. Today's small move down in the S&P 500 was confirmed down in the advanced decline line, along with the equal weight index RSP simply falling after the Friday's topping tail. We are also not seeing higher highs in Bitcoin, actually finding a low we haven't seen since last Friday. Today, intraday, cracking down a little below the $120,000 level. Although most stocks went down, consumer defensive went up a little bit, outpacing the rest of the stock market. And institutions don't have a huge or really any incentive to keep the stock market going higher, as nobody has puts. They've been selling more calls, making it actually more valuable for institutional players to actually send the market down from here. Before we get to commodities and metals, I also want to bring up utilities having sort of an engulfing day. Wednesday's candle wasn't a green candle, but I still count this as an engulfing red candle. This could be even the top of utilities, even though it's typically a defensive play. Nvidia, the king of the stock market itself, with, if you want to call it a doji topping tail, tiny little body with these two big wicks on the top and the bottom. This can easily be a topping candle. On to crude oil. I was wondering if this move up was looking like a blow-off bottom or a bear flag, with yesterday's and today's action in crude oil falling, as you can see here. It does appear that this is a bear flag now. And if crude goes lower, it's just screaming, yeah, the slowdown is starting. And yes, markets and economies aren't the same thing, but you get some clues. And it wasn't just stocks, crypto, and commodities. It was gold and silver, the metals. The biggest day down in gold that we've seen for months at this point. Gold dropping 1.62%. And silver, it looks like, ended the day with a large topping tail. So even the metals aren't keeping up. Personally, I'm surprised the VIX is not even, maybe a little bit higher, considering all of these signals suggesting that we may be at a top in the stock market. Today being at 1644. 20 or above is when we are having some kind of fear. This is still very low for the VIX, relatively speaking, to potential volatile situations. Lastly, TLT, my favorite place to be, I'm going to bring up today only because we're not really going anywhere. We haven't really budged since the beginning of September. It's been about a month just in this absolute sideways chop. TLT doesn't normally go this flat for that long. Equally in the 10-year Treasury note yield, I think yields are preparing to break out, most likely in the immediate short term, I believe to the downside, to follow oil to the downside. So altogether, it is looking like a stock market top Is it possible that the guy with goggles and a pet dragon named Drakmar and a crystal ball is wrong about the market being at being at a pivot point? Nah, couldn't be. All kidding aside, remember folks, no advice. I'm just a crystal ball reader, and I'm one who says the top is in. Moving on to our community topics, what moves did you make today, if any? Comment below. Coming up, economic data still in limbo, probably for another week and a half. Notably, this is the second, today, Thursday, is the second initial continued claims report that we're not getting. And we are still waiting on the unemployment report that didn't come out on Friday, but we still have those tariff updates to always keep an eye on. As always, thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. The subscription button's right somewhere around there. Right around here. You just put your mouse over it and click subscribe if you want to subscribe. Thank you for your comments and your support for Robschild. No changes to the crystal ball ratings. And see my website, link in the description, to read through my daily reminders, current macro views, portfolio explained, and stock research center. And that's all from me and my crystal ball. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Robschild.